What's up, y'all? It's me, Tasha C, and today I'm reviewing slash recapping this episode, or the 1 week long gone temporary hiatus of Being Mary Jane season 1, episode 4 or 5, depending if you include the pilot, which some episodes cool. So it's 4 or 5. I put in the description, but anyways, you know, if you are new, if you're about one of my old subscribers, y'all know that I tend to be random and not notes. So I'm just going to try to give the best of my interpretation of what I thought and seen this episode. Also, I have a feature of the koi of a pillow. And the reason why that is because we seem to have learned some things with a pillow in this episode. Now, of course, we got the beginning scene. Mary Jane is with her girls. I think everybody except the one that's engaged to Miko, I think was the only one that wasn't there. Everybody else that was at this party with the stripper was a part of this personal conversation about reveal your truth. And she's texting Andre. Andre's sitting at home. He said he can't get out, something like that. So she's like, let me know if you still come over. You let know. We can't do it. Cut the shit out. Can't do it this time. And he's sitting there, and his wife, is in one chair, one baby. One of their babies is, well, they're not little babies, but they're still little kids. One of them got one child over here, the other one got over child over there. And, they watched the movie, and you could tell the conversation drives. It's just like, whoa, something about this movie, and that made him fall asleep. So, well, this is the, third time you've seen the movie. Some of Andre's, Avery was talking about. So it kind of has faded. Like I said, Mary ended up where I think Carrot stayed at her house after they went to the club, since it was an unsuccessful night that Andre was able to come over there because he was stuck with the wife and kids. And Kara's looking through this dating site, first for herself, and then it was the same site that I guess Mary Jane had an account but hasn't been on for a while, but she was able to recall and recover her password. And so she finds a guy, and we see from this, we already know it was Wayne Brady. That's not what he played in this thing. He played a different character, not himself. But, when Mary Jane ain't looking, but, Kara's thinking, like, I know she's probably, basically telling Mary that, you need to look for love, too. I don't know if you're still sprung out, on David, like on David, whatever. You know how, of course, Mary Jane was avoiding any questions. But, Kara decides, to be Cupid and play Cupid and pretend something about she was interested, because she had about 12 messages from the last time she's been on whatever, meetlove.com or whatever the site that we're on. Okay. So anyways, you got the next scene of she pretend, like I said, she pretends to be her and says she wants to meet and talk or whatever, something like that. And Mary Jane ends up seeing the message and realizing that the dude is interested and wants to talk to her. We'll meet with her face, go on a date. So, here's another scene. I want to get this out the way about the brother situation and the mom. And when Mary Jane goes over to see her, she asks her niece to help her with some emails or something like that, or, how to filter out this thing, whatever. Her younger brother comes in and is basically telling her, I forgot what the niece's name is. But he's telling her, like, stop having your friends call me or something like that, because he's like, he only messes with 30-year-olds with careers, 30-year-old customers and up. That's real cash flow. He ain't messing with them $10 bags, okay? He doing half pounds and up, I guess, whatever, right? But, they know they're going to pay, they ain't going to ask for a hookup, couple weeks next time I will you, or something like that. And, because Mary Jane was like, well, you need to tell me why is her friends going to call you, whatever. And she just kind of astonished. And, he's just like, well, it's not okay, but at this time before the brother comes in about inquiring about, because, Mary Jane also was concerned about was the brother selling out, selling in the parents' house. And, she was asking this was Dante, her new baby daddy, because, by this time, Mary Jane is holding, I guess, her first baby in her hands. Like I said, they still have not shown, or will they ever shown, Patrick's, other daughter, because both his oldest daughters both have children already. And, She just like, oh, we all right. Mary Jane's like, well, is he still with the other baby mom? Something like, of course, she just kept on changing the subject stuff. Like, oh, we are cool, we all right. And she just probably about looked like at least maybe seven, probably about to pop already as is. But here's just trying to brush like everything's good between her and Dante. And she probably hasn't even seen him since we seen him, I think, in, what was it, the damn movie that we seen? The pilot slash movie, episode 1. And so he just got her pregnant, moving on to the next one, and probably will pregnate some more females until something is done about that. So, the mom is sitting there, we don't know. I thought the woman had seen a mouse run across the floor the way she was screaming. She come in there, was, everybody came in there, Mary Jane, the younger brother, I think, and the dad, I know it was a couple people ran there, I think, who needs to, they came into the room, because we think they this room, we already know the woman's sick, whatever, lupus, right? So she all like, oh my gosh, my diamond bracelet's gone. And so, even the dad is like, just calm down for a second. Now, we'll get to the bottom of the second thing in Riley's room. As soon as she, then it, it's looking like all of a sudden she just went, she stopped at one. It almost looked like, if you look closely, maybe it was just me, but I thought like she was kind of like a little bit happy, if you know what I mean. So, on that note, we fast forward, and of course, I didn't know at the time being that Tracy, she comes over a lot, I guess, to help the mom. Tracy actually doesn't stay at the parents' house. She just comes over, brings the baby over, whatever the case is, but they apparently do not live with each other at the moment, because Tracy comes over there and Patrick's trying to talk to her, and Mary Jane comes in around that time to defuse the situation, because she already knows, like, we already know that she doesn't like the mom, like the mom doesn't like her, whatever, and stuff like that. Just let it be. Tracy's like, I'm just getting sick and tired of this, because Patrick's trying to calm her down. Tracy's just like, I know I didn't take it and stuff like that. She goes upstairs to tell the mom, like, I know you don't like me, but I still, try to be there and support you and stuff like that. And, of course, she flat out just says, the mom lets him know, like, I don't believe my son took it anyway. Do you think she took it? She's like, no, I don't think he took it, but I'm not the one who took it, because she had to remind her, well, you had drug use problems. And then Tracy let him know, like, okay, duh, me and Patrick both work in the same facility. He got the same problem. He has a problem with drugs, just like I have a problem with drugs, okay? But she's just like, I don't want to believe my son and stuff like that, blah, 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 whatever. So, in other words, it ended up like Tracy got the hint that, she doesn't want her there anymore. And Tracy takes the baby, Patrick kisses his, their daughter goodbye, whatever case, and she walked out because she was just upset with his understanding. Because, the mom, when she left with him, which I think she even had a smirk on her face, but, this could be a deep issue. I don't know if mom wants to keep Patrick, and maybe because after all the drug use, just to keep him like to himself, you know what I mean? Like maybe to a mama's boy, or maybe just keep it where she don't want him to have a relationship, any romantic, you know what I mean? And just keep it as, you just gonna be my son and raise your kids here and that's it. And, all them girls is nasty and they're dangerous and they just get you back in that situation. I don't know. But the reason why we say that is we fast forward the same situation. Okay, she sat here and, the father buys the bracelet, in the laundry room. I don't know if she forgot it there or she strategically placed there. I ain't gonna lie, y'all, but she was just like, he was like, you made all this big fuss for nothing and stuff like that. But she was just like, the important thing is, basically, I'm glad, ding dong, bitch, Tracy's gone. And that's pretty much all it was. She's not in my house, so I ain't got to worry about it again. But also in between that time, I forgot to mention. Now, the dad, was talking to Patrick in a separate room and, basically asking, like, did he know what the bracelet is? And Patrick's like, no, I didn't take the bracelet. And of course, here go dad with a little, peek up with top ready, because it's time for him to do his drug test. And, Patrick, you could tell, was a little bit nervous and stuff because he's just like, now, just last week you said, I was celebrating my sobriety and stuff with a party and stuff, right? And he already knew was going, drop dirty and stuff. So he ends up telling his dad the truth, like, you know what? I ain't gonna lie to you, ain't no search. I know I'm gonna be dirty and that's it. I slipped up, but I went back to the meeting, the next day. But you could see all the disappointment in his father's face. And that was right before he found a bracelet and the mom just sitting there smiling that she got rid of Tracy out the house or whatever. And it's kind of like, okay, that was messed up because you just kind of, the truth is, whether you put the bracelet up there or not, I'm sorry, I should have rewinded that part. But it's just the point is, it's like, the mom, we see maybe possibly addiction of hers is that she doesn't want, I don't know, both her sons or one of her sons, technically to grow up. You never know. So the reason why I got, okay, let's get also out of the situation, y'all. Sorry, my darn prop is falling. It's this here. Let's get to the point about Mark and the slip up of Mary Jane's as usual. Nothing's plain about Mary Jane. Okay. Um, she was talking. Now this is after she got in touch with Sean. That's the dude Wade Rainey's playing Sean, who's a professor at I think at a university. And she, slipping up. I guess she turned Kara, because Kara, like I said, one time, earlier, Mary Jane was suggesting like, why does she don't get with back with Carlos, but she feels like he's probably trying to mess with her just to get a green card and stuff. And, because another dude that she was looking at, she was worried about the fact that he has 4 kids, so she wouldn't be priority. Okay, fast forward. So, Carol is already like this, she comes in, I guess, letting her know already, like, I figured out that she pretended to be me, but she wasn't really mad about it, to this new potential guy. And then, we see this. She was slipping out and said, she doesn't know if the guy possibly could be Mark. And I think she was referring to Sean. I don't know. Quote me different wrong. She ended up saying to her, either he could be possibly Ricky Market or Mark Anthony. She was referring to somebody or whatever. I don't know, it was Sean or Sean or whatever the case was. And then that's when Kara put 2 and 2 together and realized, like, Mark, and then we already know Mickey Mark and this, came out that he's gay. And I think she would say Mark Anthony or Mark, but it was somebody, I know she says the name Mark. So she accidentally slipped up and said referring to Mark. And then, putting Ricky Mark, he could be this way, but she would say Mark, a little dainty or something like that. And so we ended up realizing the Kara was like, oh, you're saying Mark is, and Mary Jane's like, no, don't say anything, blah, blah, blah. And of course, even though Kara kept her mouth shut to a certain extent, how she's the producer now also over, or executive producer over Mark show to, vamp it up and get back this phrase that he's been slipping, right? And so when he was saying something along the lines, we can do this and do this and this, and all of a sudden, Kara slips up and says something along the lines that, that's looking kind of gay. He's like, what, gay gabo or something like that. She said she tried to change the word up. And then, he kind of put 2 and 2 together. And then we'll go back to that, like how that turns out. That's what, right? So here's the other angle. Now, we're back to Andre and back to his wife, right? Now, after the night when they went to the club and he seen the babies and stuff like that, right? We ended up seeing, he sleeps in the guest room, but at 5 o'clock, he's had his alarm on. He goes into sleeping with his wife because, of course, he didn't tell Mary J this, and they supposed to have a committed relationship in an unfaithful situation. Okay, go figure. So he ends up going in the room at 5 o'clock, and he's laying on his back, and somehow she puts the pillow strategically on here. Okay, somewhere here, and y'all, we just see this somewhat just her head. And I'm thinking from the angle like this, I seriously thought that somehow she was trying to snug and get comfortable. And then he's just like, what are you doing? And, you might put out of socket. And here she's trying to force herself something that she's not comfortable, but thinking it's going to save the marriage and stuff, right? So anyways, she's like, I thought you would like something like this or whatever. But and then he's like, but with a pillow? Oh, my neck hurts. Oh God! Ooh, that please don't take that as a step on out. Oh my gosh! Oh Lord, I'm just saying like I said, it was an epic fail. Okay, we'll leave it at that. And so, next, fast forward after we got now Mary Jane speaking with Michelle, which turned out to be what she's proud somewhat she honored to her about being a mistress, right? She wants her to speak because one of the key persons for the mayor or something like that, basically just said, backed out of speaking at this empowerment for young women or women, whatever type of event at the last minute, and she wants Mary Jane. And at first Mary Jane thought she wasn't gonna be able to do it, but she convinces her, right? So Anyways, um, the next day when Andre was finally able to sneak over there, right? They're talking, and he just teasing about critiquing her about, because the issues about helping people or like being there for the poor, so I think the person that was debating with her, that discussion with her, thought like, that's like giving somebody, people crutches and stuff like that. And he was just teasing her like, Andre himself when they're like watching this her news segment. And he was just like saying, "You're for the poor. I used to be poor too." And he was just like, "You know what? I could see how you do your face and you wiggle your nose or something like that along the lines that she does when she gets upset, or she's gets upset or whatever, or. And then first she's teasing him like, well, due to your critiquing me, you're not getting any of my experiences, or other words, basically um, um, any type of type of sex is off limits tonight. Then she sits here and she pretends like she's going to put the pillow and pretend to smudge him, in his face. And you could, I guess you could see in his face he's feeling uncomfortable. So she was like, "Something's wrong here. Please discuss it." And he's just like, "You know what? No, I'll leave that alone. You don't want to hear that, right?" And she's like, "No, we should be able to be talk and be open." This wasn't going to end well. So he said it was a little funny thing, you know, with Avery and his pill this morning. Already Mary Jane's being mad because, she's supposed to be faithful. They're supposed to be faithful. He's already still married and still with his wife. And, then she first, she could tell us what's up, but, it's like he decides to feel comfortable. I think she will allow him, but it kept going. And so he was laughing nervously to a certain extent, but he does admit how she tried to give him head with the pillow, and that's when she put two and two together. Because first she was just like, "Wait a minute, I thought you were supposed to be sleeping in the guest room. You're supposed to be faithful to me now." And that's basically, what's going on. And he's just like, "No, I do sleep in the guest room and stuff like that." And he was just saying like it was just like the worst heads experience, blah, blah, blah. But he's trying to diffuse the situation, like, what? No, it's not as bad. It's not like I'm sleeping, but she put two together to realize like, okay, he's basically sleeping with both of them. So of course she's mad that he's sleeping with his wife. And so, she got mad. She was like, "Let me be open with this too. I'm dating." And of course he's feeling like, "No, you're not." She's like, "Yes, I am." So she ended up walking out the room and whatever. And he wasn't, getting on that night basically. So, fast forward. Another important scene was now first time after that, I think, she met Sean the first time. And then here, after Kara slipped up, she's trying to text her when she had to, she's talking a little bit with Sean. And it seemed like 2 minutes before they sat down, before they even got the means to order what was the best wine of the day. All of a sudden, you got, Cara's page and texting, and I could have sworn I know Andre saw you still mad. So it's like at least two to three people texting her. Do. Here she's talking about like I'm trying to give you down the page, but she wouldn't put the phone in the purse, then put it on side note. She still tried texting, and Sean caught on. He was just like, "You know what, my boy's the owner of the restaurant here, and when you're not busy working, she should say, 'Oh, my niece is calling, or I'm working and doing stuff.' Just doing, just trying to distract away the fact of what's really going on, just to brush off like, it's not as bad as it seems." And then he just like, "My boy owns this restaurant. You're not busy, so let we get bed again." Stage left. Dinner's on me. So after that, another scene was, she does meet up, or like I said, Mark kept trying to meet up with her, and he did able to meet up her, and he did, she was just like, "I'm so sorry," but he was just like, no, brushed off, like he just feels like their marriage is, they not the marriage, but their friendship is so much important, and he's just like, what, he understood that she probably didn't intentionally need to do that, and she's like noticing his image. I guess he got suit and tie, bow and tie, and he had a tied suit. And she's usually like, I usually, like your straight jacket, but it's like he has to change his image and stuff, to, I guess, how Carol's trying to bring more viewers and stuff like that. But, they just have a little conversation, but at least they end it where it's peaceful and they're still good friends. And so here we go with the last segment, Andre, the love triangle with Andre, Ivory, and of course, Mary Jane. And so we go back to fast forward. Now, when Mary Jane goes to this event, we got a couple of they got some chairpersons there. I think they're Atlanta chairpersons. Did they say that? So she's talking, and then there's one extra seat beside her. She didn't want to sit in the area within the seat of somebody else. And they said, "Oh, that's reserved for our financial advisor. She's raised over, $1.8 million for these I think this charity, stuff like that. She's a top financial advisor, blah, blah, blah." And here comes Avery, okay? So she sits down, and we already know some stuff about to hit the fan. She sits there, talks to her, and she lets everybody know, because everyone else is asking how she's doing. She let them know that her husband's having an affair. Her mistress told she she's Mary Jane's a little bit uncomfortable to a certain extent, but she's able to keep it hidden. And Avery's just like, "Well, what would you do, Mary Jane, if as soon as she said that, her mistress told her comment, if you found out about your husband's affair?" And she just, of course, rubbing her face like Mary Jane is the Avery. If you step your, sex game up, she said the number 2 reason why men leave their wives, because they step their game up with sex. Their sex is bad, and then somebody else asks, "Well, what is number 2?" And she's like, "Well, no, number 1. Pardon me. What is number 1?" Well, they don't love their wives anymore, and and then of course they let her know, it's very rare that the husband leaves for the rump partner. And you got the women's green, and she was saying that they were in council, something like that. So to make a long story short, it kind of a little bit after that, first Mary Jane was going to have prepared, little cue card, little index card speech, and then she decided to say that empower her to speak towards the young girls there, the teenagers, and saying, basically still taking jabs at Avery, talking about, what, there's nothing wrong with being number 2, because you get to find out. You eventually and you work hard, you will get number 1. One of them type of things. Work hard, you will get to number 1. There's nothing wrong with being number 2. It's actually great being number 2. Basically informer indirectly kept coming at Avery, okay? Avery's a good one on this show, considered just the disrespect. So anyways, we go fast forward later on, and after I guess, because it's confidential, I don't know if they go to the therapist and see Andre and Avery there. And, the therapist wants to know why they're there after she has to encounter with Mary Jane, why they're there. And she's basically, saying, like, she still wants to work on this marriage. She thinks that Andre's good provider and good father. And, Andre's kind of like this, just looking straight forward, not even looking at Avery, like, he does love and care for her, blah, blah, blah. In favor, basically, like, okay, signal, turn and look at her that way. And he's like, he loves and cares for her. But then even she asks, it's like, well, why did you cheat on me? And, because she feels like, of course, she's put in so much into the relationship, the marriage. And, sorry, y'all. Sometimes the phone does be in, and I'll be it. Let me keep going. So, anyways, he admits, now here's one of the things is, obviously, from his term, he feels like he's put everything in, from holidays to, advising with every major decision in the house, that he's given this all to. Your family didn't approve of me. It's my mom's birthday, y'all, so why did my cousin have to leave a message? This is real life, y'all. Love you, cousin, but really, I was really getting towards the end of this video, and I'm not editing nothing because I'm using Windows Movie Maker. So, anyways, y'all, he basically says this. Now, Avery's obviously one of those people who want to build a man. He feels like this. He doesn't feel the value being priceless. She feels like he just built a man, blah, blah, blah. I made you, upgrade you, Beyonce. Upgrade you basically to the best, whatever. It's like you were nothing. He feels like she still has to remind him, like, I made you to the person that you were. And it's almost like a prize to be won type of thing, and not value as a husband, but value as, as kind of almost like, I'm not going to say like a prize, but it's just the value of not really respecting the person, you know what I mean? And you just kind of like, let me just say this. People can be nice, but some people intentionally be nice for the wrong reasons. And if she likes to bring up all the time, like, I basically made you and blah, blah, blah here, that makes him feel obviously to devalue you like a man, because he keeps saying 10 years ago, she accepts Mary Jane. He likes like Mary Jane, what it loves Mary Jane Weaver, because she accepts him for who he is now. She doesn't have to keep reminding him, every 10 years ago when he still was not where he wanted to be and how she had, put him with here, this powerful person, made him the person, blah, blah, blah. Keep reminding him basically of the flaws or where he once was instead of where he is now. So, like I said, he obviously feels deep value as a man, right? So, that kind of ends. The last part is Mary Jane is coming from her date with Sean. This time, at least when she got the text message in, they had a couple conversation. When she got that first text, she did put it in the purse, so they had a little bit of time. She got a text when she was, I think parked, because I think Andre was the one actually texted around that time. She's parked the car, whatever, and here comes Andre. Who knows how long he been sitting outside the bushes. I mean, whatever, waiting for her, and he told her that he wants to get divorced. And that date, because like I said, she said text him back that Sean that she enjoyed the date and I guess they're gonna do it again. And just that quickly, as soon as Andre's talking about leaving my wife and blase blase whatever, right? Here she just goes and falls right in his arms. Hopefully, I thought, I don't know why I had a feeling, they were just kissing. He always gets her with this, don't he? Just face in the hands. He always gets her with the face in the hands. And that's just, besides, dipping the pool and, just water glistening off his body helps too, He's a visual distraction to the man who plays Andre. So, anyways, and she just happy kiss, and then we go credits, and then we got 3 more episodes, and I'm probably gonna have to run my mouth maybe about at least an hour when they have the season finale. Well, I'm damn near about 30 minutes as is, because they're gonna have a 2-hour season finale. Okay, they already got the credits and everything. Actually, that's pretty much all that was today. I hope y'all have a lovely evening, one and night, every weekend, and I'll definitely see y'all next video. I love y'all all. Thank you for all the love and support, and I definitely will see y'all in the next one. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.